Oh no! That's not what I wanted! Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of Fog's World. Oh yeah. So, here we are in the nether. We're up above the nether ceiling at the pigman farm, and there's something that's been bugging me about this farm for a long time that I've really wanted to fix. And this is it. I don't know if you can tell here. Well, let me go in and turn this on, and it'll be a little more obvious what the problem is. Here we go. Let's turn it back on, and I'll show you what's going on. All right, we made it. Okay. So let's see. What do we have going here? All right, let's go over here. I'll show you what this is supposed to look like. All right, so this one is working properly. You can see we have ice there. And then when this thing fires, the ice is going to drop. And then the slime blocks move forward and push the energy balls. And then the then the ice gets pushed back up. Just like that. So this one's working. But what happens is these guys get out of sync. And if you walk away too far and you unload, then you end up with this. You can see that the ice here has been captured by the slime blocks. And so it's stuck in the wrong position. And so when the pistons here drop, they don't pull anything. And then the ice moves forward. And then you get that sort of thing. The slime blocks move forward, but they're pushing the ice, and then when they go back, they pull the ice with it. Obviously, that's wrong. So somehow we need to come up with a way to fix this. All right. So what is happening here? Well, what I think is happening is all of this is fired from a single line, which you're seeing down below here. There's this one line. This was an earlier attempt to fix this problem, by the way. And what happens is this guy, he fires a pulse. And when this pulse fires, those guys retract. And then a single pulse on a different delay fires these guys out and back. And then these guys extend again. So this goes down, that comes out and back, and then this extends. The problem is, once it gets stuck in here, that's not going to fix it. So here's what needs to happen. We'll do this. We're going to slow it down. I'm going to show you what's supposed to happen. So we're going to put this back the way it's supposed to be. So there's my ice captured, and then we'll release this. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to work. When this guy fires, this guy's supposed to retract the ice that's right there. So this guy retracts the ice, that guy comes forward, and then this guy replaces the ice. So retract the ice, replace the ice. That's what's supposed to happen. But of course, that isn't what really happens. So what I'm thinking I need to do to fix this is, first of all, I want to get rid of this timing mechanism we've got here, and instead, I think I want to centralize the timing mechanism. Instead of having a different timing mechanism at the end of each of these, I think I want to build a timing mechanism below, so I only have to build it in one place. And what I want the timing to do is something slightly different. First thing I want it to do is I want it to retract. And that's how it gets messed up right there. I want it to first, let's put it back the way it's supposed to be, and then I'll show you what I want it to do. Okay, so that's the way it's supposed to be. What I want it to do instead is I want it to first retract this, Then I want it to fire this, and I want that to happen on the same timing as before. Only now, instead of retracting that first, I want this to fire up once and then back down once. And that way, if the ice has been somehow stuck up there, that'll be retracted again. And then I want this to retract. So, to recap, this guy needs to retract. This guy needs to fire, to extend. So this retracts, this extends. Then this extends and retracts. And then that retracts. So that is how I need to make it work. And I want all of the timing to happen centralized so that instead of having one line out to each of these, I'm going to have two. I'm going to have a line under here and either one on the other side. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll put one on the other side, or maybe I'll just put one line above the other. That's possible too. But I have to figure out how to make it do that. So, yeah. So let's figure it out before we go any farther. All right. So we need... There's a block here. This is actually supposed to be an ice block, but you know, that's fine. We'll figure that out. And then behind it, we're going to have a sticky piston with, let's see, this is right here. Yeah. Sticky piston. Whoop, come on. There we go. Sticky piston and a slime block. And that we can take out the rest of this. So let's do this. Let's get some redstone and some levers. Where are my levers? Oh, my levers are in the box. This is why we do these things ahead of time. Okay, let's pop a couple of levers down here and we can get the basic behavior. Okay, so that's what it does when it's messed up. This is what it's supposed to do. This is supposed to drop, this is supposed to fire, then this retracts, and this goes up. But the problem is, every now and then, you get into this state, and then this will retract, this will fire, this will retract, this will go up, and you're still messed up. So the way to fix that is to retract this, fire this, and then fire this and retract this one more time before you retract that. So that means this guy has to fire twice for every time this guy fires once. So let's figure out how can we do that. That needs a timing circuit. And then the question is, do we use repeaters or comparators? And in what order do we do them? And like that. So we need something that'll work off of a one-tick pulse to start this. So let's go ahead and put down a one-tick pulse generator to kick this whole thing off. And rather than build this into the floor, I'm going to build this up a little bit higher just because. Let's do that. And then we're going to put a repeater out the other side. And rather than do a single tick pulse, I think we'll do 2 ticks. So this will give us, that's a pulse generator. So that'll give us a 2-tick pulse. And we're going to use that to first retract this and then extend and then retract and then extend. So what we need to do that is we need a pulse splitter. We're going to take this. let's use a repeater for that. We'll pull one pulse off there and another one off there. This one will do the first retraction and extension. I need torch. Thank you. Give me some more redstone, please. And then we need something that's going to do the second retraction and extension. Right? That's not going to work. So this guy has to retract and extend. And then this guy has to retract and extend. And I think we have to do that this way. Let's do it like this. Okay. So when this thing fires, it's going to retract. When it fires again, it will extend. On, retracted, off, extended. This is the way I want it to be normally. So that'll give us the first retraction and extension. This will give us a second one. Should do, right? So let's see. That should retract and extend, and then retract and extend. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then this guy needs to fire and retract, but it needs to do it on a delay. And I think a 3-tick delay probably ought to do it, right? Because this is 4 5 ticks. This is on. So that means this is going to retract on ticks 1 and extend again 2 ticks later, because this is on a 2-tick delay. This is 2 ticks long. So this is going to go on and then off. And this is going to go on and off 4 ticks after this one. So if this one's on 3, those should interleave, right? So let's see what we get. Now, this needs to stay on longer. That's the problem. So we need that. And we need, like, let's see. If we do this and that, will that do it? All right, let's see what we get. That should do it. So it retracts, it fires, it retracts, it fires. So let's do this now. What we need to do is make sure this really is going to fire our things and not get hung up. So let's go ahead and put some ice on there. Okay, here we go. Okay, it fired off. That's good. That's good. All right. Okay. Let's see. Will that fire or will it get hung up on the ice? It fires. I think we got it. I think we got it. Okay, here we are underneath. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and use this netherrack to build some scaffolding so I can get up underneath this guy. And hopefully we won't have to worry too much about mobs getting under here, but that is, of course, always the worry. We're going to build this up to the top. Build this up here. I have to figure out how I'm going to run this wiring and whatnot. So let's first take a look here. What do we have over here in terms of mechanics? We've got each of these guys has, well, they have an inverted system right here. Well, that's convenient. That's half of what we need. But we've also got a bunch of extra stuff here that we don't need. Like all of this back here. That we need. But this circuit back here that does this delayed firing, we don't need that because we're going to move all that central. And then the question is, do we build a second line underneath, or do we just build another one on the opposite side? Decisions. Non-trivial for sure. And I gotta not mess with the... I have to be careful not to mess with the other stuff I've got going over there. Yeah, I don't want to mess with the sorting system. I think I'm going to build it off the other side because it's going to be easier to remove the extra wiring back here. Right, starting with this lever. See, if I remove from here back, what do we have underneath? Is that part of the sorting system, or is that actually part of this? That's part of the sorting system, I believe. Let me get down underneath there and take a look. Let's get down under here. What is this? Oh, no. That's the ejection system. This is for the overflow. Right there. That's what this is. This is overflow. So maybe, so this is the timing circuit that runs the clock. And then we have, so that timing circuit runs the clock, and that fires this down here. And this all fires all of these lines at the same time. That's what this is designed to do. So what I kind of need is I kind of need a second line for all of these. Yeah. And this all has to go. All of this stuff down here. That all needs to go. All right, let's get down underneath. I'm going to build out some scaffolding down there, and we're going to figure out the timings. All right, I've been working on getting these things laid out, the rest of these lines, and I'm mostly there, except I have one slight little problem, and that is that not all of these are going to be timed the same, which is a bit of a problem. And you'll see what I mean here in a minute. This one's takes 3 to reach the end. And the others only take 1 or 2. So I'm going to have to balance that out with extra repeaters. And I'm going to have to do some timing tweaks to make that work. I also need to get rid of the old wiring. So let's do that, actually. Let's do the old wiring first. Oh, wait a minute. You're going in that direction. Although I want to get all this redstone in place because I'm getting too many things spawning. This one's 2. Okay. Let's get rid of the wiring back there. That's the next step. And that means I want to come up where? Where do I come up to make that happen? I don't remember. I don't know that it matters much. I think it was here. But again, I don't think it matters much. Just as long as I get up there. We'll do it here. We'll do it here. All right. Now that I can get up to the top, I can take out all the extra stuff. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to get rid of everything from here back. So let's get into here. Okay, this guy should now be completely firing correctly. Let's see what we get. Except for the possibility of bad timing on that guy back there. Yeah, in fact, this guy's timing is off. So let's go ahead and fix that. That should get the timing right, I think. Yeah, okay. And maybe... Huh. If I reduce each of these by 1, then I can do a 3 delay. So if I do this, and then that, and that, now this guy should be timed correctly. Okay. All right, I think we should have it all working now. So now we've got to test the timings. If I've got the timings right, this thing should still work. And that's what we're about to find out, is whether or not the timings are correct here. They need to fire the balls into the middle. Oh, no, no! The timings are off. Okay. Nope. Well, that's too bad. That's just too bad. So let's go see what we can do to fix that. So what exactly is happening here? The second pulse needs to come later is what needs to happen. Okay. So let's see if we can figure that out. The second pulse has to come later. Darn it! Where is that circuitry? It's down here. So let's see what we can do. Let's add an extra tick there and an extra tick there. That should do it, right? Let's see what we get now. And this guy needs to be slower on the rebound, which means I think I need to add a tick here. Nope. Nope. The second pulse needs to come later. There. Try that. That might do it. Maybe. I'm thinking, let's be even more conservative on that second pulse. Right there. Is that firing just once, please? Nope, that's firing twice. Darn it! Try that. Nope, still firing twice. There we go. That's a single fire. All right, let's try that. Let's try that. Oh no! That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted at all. Ah, man. And I don't have any rails, do I? Well, I might in my ender chest. Let's see if I've got rails in the ender chest. Do I have any rails? Nope. No rails. Oh, man. Well, that just stinks. Do I have any rails in this? Probably not, but we're going to check anyway. Nope. No rails. I could build some, maybe. Actually, I know I can build some if I've got... If I have... Yeah, let's see. Maybe I can build some. Do I have wood? I have no wood. I have a crafting table. Okay. Doggone it. Okay, well, we'll have to come back to you. All right. Okay, test 2. Here we go. Hopefully the slime balls make it through. Doesn't look like it. Timings are still off. Okay, that fixes the minecart elevator anyway. So I'm thinking maybe this needs a shorter time. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's go around and we can reduce all of those by 1 tick because I've got the 2 tick delay built in elsewhere. Right, so let's take you, put you at 1, put you at 1. Alright, let's see what this does. That seems to have done it. That seems to have done it. Alright, let's see what we get. I'm not convinced this is going to work, but we shall soon find out. Oh, those two work. But that one doesn't. Oh wait, yes it does. That one works. This is the only one that's not working. Why is that one different from these? Well, let's go find out. Uh-oh, I missed it. Oh, I nearly died. That would have been bad. Which is the one that isn't working? That one works, that one works. That's the one that's not working. Okay, so that's set to 1 tick. This has a 3 tick delay, and that one works. This has... That's set to 1 tick. This is messed up. That's got 1 tick there. Oh, you know what? This is off by a repeater. It needs 1 more repeater. Doesn't it? I'm getting a double flash, and I don't want a double flash here. Why am I getting a double flash? Are those getting a double flash? Ah! Ah! Oh my goodness. Oh! Deadly little things. Yeah, those get a double flash, but they don't stay flashing. This one is the one that's messed up. So let's put... This is short a repeater, I think. Let's see if that does it. Okay, next shot should do it. That did it! Okay, that solved the problem. Alright. Let's go back up to the top and give her one more try. Here we go. Let's see what we get now. Oh, that's encouraging. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I think we have fixed it. All right, now the only question is, do I want to cover the rest of that with glass to make it uniform? I'm not convinced I do. I think I'm going to save the resources. We're just going to let this sit for a while and make sure it's all working. But guys, that is all we have time for today. So as always, if you enjoyed this, leave a like. It helps people find my videos, and it makes me feel oh so very good. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe. We do this every week. Every Monday morning, there's a new Fog's World. And I will see you all next Monday in Fog's World. Bye-bye, guys.